Everyone, it's Sam here. So today I'm back with another diamond fold tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make this one here. If you're new to my channel, what I do is I tend to do multiple sizes of a similar design, but I've started doing like a mini series, so I do even more sizes and just configurations of a particular fold. So right now I'm doing these diamond folds. So I've already shared the tutorial for this one here, which is gorgeous, and that one folds down to a 6x6 size. Then we've got this one here, which is like a stepper, triple stepper style, and that one all folds down to 5x7. I've got this one which is coming. This is going to be a graduation style. I have already made this one over on a craft along, so a live, which is on my other channel. All that information is linked in the description box below, but that's a lovely version as well, and that's 5x7. And then today I'm going to show you how to make this one. So I did again made this one during live craft along, and this is a DL size. Okay, ignore the edges there, but that is DL size. But I decided to go for a bigger topper when I made it, so it's actually just made it now a C6 size, so 6x8. So I just made a bigger envelope, which you can see that all fits inside. But as I do the tutorial in a moment, I'll talk you through how to shrink that down if you want to keep it within that DL size, because I think it does look really nice as well. You don't need any dies to make any of these. I do talk you through the templates that I've made, which you can then make yourself and then use that to guide you through the process. So let's get started. So I'm going to make a Christmas version today, and I'm using the gorgeous wreath topper stamp here, which I've already cut out, and it's this one here. It's beautiful, really love that one. And you've also got the cute Christmas. You could do the Santa, which I've used. I used the Robin, you saw on another one there. There's lots of lovely ones. I've used my bubbles embossing folder, so it looks like snow. I've used papers from my show-stopping Christmas paper pad, and I've used the sprigs here. So that middle piece, don't get the glare from the plastic. And then for the sentiment, I do have a new sentiment set, which is this one, Vintage Christmas, but the size of them were just a bit too big for this particular card. So I've gone for an older stamp set. This is a from last Christmas, actually, to my wonderful friend this Christmas. I just thought it's the nice size to sit on that without taking away too much of the image. So that's all of my decoration. So here is the template. So DL double diamond fold card. So you want to cut yourself a piece of 12x8, okay? And you can see already where you need to score. So along that 12-inch side, we're going to score at 2, 4, 8 and 10. And you want to put a little marker at 6 inches on the top and the bottom. So I've already scored it, but I'm going to go through all those steps again with you. So like I said, first of all, I make your template, and then you can keep these in a folder and you've got them all then when you need them. So along this side here, the long side, score at 2, 4, 8 and 10. Okay, then you want to put a little marker with your stylus at 6 inches, flip the card and do again the same, 6 inches. Okay, so that is all the scoring with the scoreboard. Top tip as well is use like a 220 GSM. Don't go for your real heavy weight like a 300 or a 280, because you're working with those folds and you get these points, you're likely to get cracking if you go too heavy. So go with a lighter, softer weight cardstock, because by the time you add your mats and layers onto it, it's going to make it strong again anyway. Next, we need to add some of those diagonal score lines. So I've got my metal ruler and a stylus. And what you want to do first of all is if you just fold and burnish all of those score lines and folding them in both orientation. This is a colour core card as well. I'd recommend don't go for your white core, because again, you're more prone to get cracking because that's just a coated card. So you want to go for that colour core, which just means that the colour runs all the way through. Okay, so now we've got our score lines. First of all, you want to score from the top of the first score line right the way across and down to the bottom. Okay, so we're doing this one here. So from the 2-inch right the way down to the bottom of the 10-inch. So just lay your ruler down, pop your stylus point to point there, right the way down. Okay, then you're going to do the same from the top of the 10-inch, okay, down to the bottom of the 2. So again, lay your ruler down, score right down. Make sure you've got like a self-healing mat, something that's a bit softer so you can get those nice score lines. So you'll have now a big cross running through this one here. Next, we want to do these score lines here. Now, if you turn it this way, you're making a square, 6x6 square, you can see there. If you break all the sections down, it makes it a little bit easier then to understand it. So now this is where your little 6-inch marker comes in. So start from your 6-inch marker and you want to score down to the middle of this, which would be 4 inches. Actually, it might be worthwhile, grab your scoreboard, pop it in along this side, just hover your stylus over that first section, and from that 2-inch score line, just put a little mark. Okay, and then again, flip it, hover it over, and just a little mark. And then use that again as your guide. So now we can go from that 6-inch here, you're scoring to that 4-inch. Okay, so 6, score down to 4, and then you could keep your stylus there and just move your ruler, line it up with the 6-inch there, and then just score right down, and then again move your ruler, you're going to score back up to the 4, and then back around again, and you're going to score back up to where you started. Okay, but like I said, do that template, take a screenshot, and yeah, you should follow that quite well. Next, we need to cut right down through the middle. Now, I've been using my scoreboard for the last few times doing this, and I actually find it working really well. If you don't want to cut into your scoreboard, that's totally fine. I'm not recommending you do, but I do find it actually really easy. But just again, make sure you've got something, you know, self-healing mat so you won't damage anything. So pop it on the short side, and where you've just done your little marker here at 4 inches, just score. So from 4 down to the last score line. So I'm scoring from 4 down to 10. Okay, you don't have to score because you are now just going to go over and cut that, but it's just a bit easier sometimes to do it that way. So then I'm just going to lay my very sharp knife in, and it's cutting into the groove, that track in the scoreboard. Again, try and do it in one nice pass. There we go. Now I've got a perfect cut there, and I mean, over time, probably it will end up wearing into it, but I've got a few of these scoreboards. For now, I don't think it's doing much damage. You could also use the flip side, because all you need is a track. It doesn't need to be, you know, that one. So maybe I'll start using the back, because that's centimetres, which I don't use. Okay, so we've already folded all of those vertical score lines. Now we want to just fold all of these diagonal ones. So just create mountain folds. I'm just pinching each one. Okay, and already, because you've scored the other ones, you should find that it all just kind of falls into place. So all of your vertical score lines will all become valley folds. Okay, so there's your valley, those ones are valleys, valley and valley. All of those diagonals are mountain folds. By doing that, you just kind of pinch them under like so. You see you get your DL card. And just go over and give all of those score lines a really good burnish. It is going to be bouncy because you just folded multiple pieces of card under each other, but I don't think that's a bad thing, because it just helps as well the recipient to know exactly kind of what to do with the card. Take it out, it'll pop up into its shape, and then they'll know how to stand it up. So you can see the difference there if I bring this one in. So that is your 4x8 size. That will fit, like I said, in the DL envelope. DL is double lengthways, which is A4 card folded in half. So yeah, double lengthways is what it means. So I've gone for a 4x4 diamond or square there. That's put it in a diamond shape. That's going to sit on top. But if you don't want to go bigger than that DL and you want it to go in an envelope, you just want to cut yourself another one of this size here. So 2 3/4. Okay, and then you'd sit that in the middle. So just follow the same process when I stick it all together, but that's the size you'll need, and that will keep it all within that DL size. So I've got all of my mats and layers here, so I'm going to pull this back out again because it's easier to decorate. So I've got 2 pieces for the sides here. So I've gone for silver mirror card, and these are 1 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, then I've got the pattern paper here, so I've got 2 pieces of 1.5 by 7.5. Let's see how they look on each side. Then I've got my 4x4 piece to go in the middle, piece of 3 3/4 mirror card, and then I've got a piece of 3.5 white card, because I thought that was a nice backdrop for that wreath to pop against. So that's going to go in the middle, and then I've got 2 pieces that are going to go onto these mats and layers. So you might need 3 if you've gone for that smaller center one that I just showed you, but these are 2 to 3 pieces of 2.5 squared. So one there, and then again 2 to 3 pieces of 2 1/4 squared, and that's that bubble embossing fold there, which I think looks quite nice for snow. Now if you want to decorate all these pieces, it's these sizes that I've given you, but you're going to cut. So if you wanted to decorate, for example, these sides here, cut that size again and cut it in half that way. You'll see it will sit in there. and then you'd cut that half in half again and it would fit in here. You might need to take a little bit off of the sides just so you've got the same kind of border, but that's how you'd create your mats and layers for there. So I'm going to get all of this stuck down and then I can show you it when it's finished. Okay, so just to show you how to add your topper, and this goes for whether you got this size or the small one, but you see how that's just going to sit over the top there. So I like to bring all this up, and I'm going to use some foam. You don't have to if you don't want to add more dimension. I'm just going to, because I know my topper is big enough to cover there, so just lay it down. I mean, even that small size, this size foam will probably be fine, but just lay it over just so you're checking you've got enough. You know, your topper's going to cover your foam. And then keep it all down like this. And then what I'm going to do is focus on the point here at the top and the bottom, that it lines up with the top and the bottom here. And also the white frame kind of here, make sure that that's the same. Looks about right. So there is the finished card. If I just bring it up, I love the mirrored card. And when you pull it out, you can see all that lovely design. I haven't decorated the side pieces on any of these diamond cards because I just think it, for me, I just think it shows off the fold a bit more, but I've seen lots of people decorate them and they look really nice as well. So I'll just bring in the other ones. Like I said, I am doing this one, but I'm actually doing it as a graduation card for my nephew, and I just need to check the colours of his school. He's graduating from preschool up, no, from nursery, sorry. No, preschool up to primary, yeah. I'll get it right. So I just want to check the colours and then I will share that one. But all of these would be great for a graduation card, even today's. That centre one as your graduation hat in the colours of their school, college, uni, and then the year running down the side, maybe a photo of them. I think it would work brilliantly. I've also done my envelope there. And I've added the wax seal Merry Christmas, so that all works perfectly. And I've got envelopes for all the others as well, but they're just, yeah, dotted around. So, but there you go. So I hope you're enjoying this mini series. Like I said, one more to come, possibly another one after that, because I think I'm going to try and do like a zigzag kind of style. But I've really enjoyed it. I love doing these series and I hope you enjoy them too. So as always, all of the products that you see me use in the videos are always shared in the description box below the video. Check out the playlist that's coming up here, which will have all of these tutorials together. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today, and drop a comment as well, because I do enjoy reading them. Take care and I'll see you in the next one.